What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 5. We have a special guest today. We have always special guests. We are blessed. This is Ryan. I even don't know your last name. I always call you Sexy Santa.
Ah, if only.
Yeah, me and my wife always say Sexy Santa because he is big. Like, you don't see it maybe on the first glance, but he is big.
Huge.
Sneaky.
So I used to work in the nightlife industry, and I remember seeing Ryan. He was like the jacked host. He would walk up to the door, and I remember him so vividly because I was like, dude, a lot of hosts, no offense, are kind of like skinny pussies.
Oh,
a little
yeah.
bit, let's be honest. And this guy was jacked out of his mind, always in a suit, and you always had like sick tables. Like you had the life. And when I was a host, like you don't know this, but like Ryan was one of the guys. It was you, J Rock, and Jay Sean, who I thought they were like the coolest dudes ever.
That's the meathead coming up.
Yeah. but yeah, so I remember like you were like the most jacked dude out of the entire host industry. Forever that's worth.
If only. Now old age. Yeah. So
Why are you so big, man? Well, how did you start a fitness?
pick them up and set them down. It's the same way. It's been the same way for 20 years now.
20
So,
years.
Yeah. I mean, no major story to it. Just pick them up, set them down.
Yeah, so I think it's important having like a routine, like a fitness routine when you work in the nightlife. How important is it to have like that routine? Because I worked in nightlife back in the days, and it's hard to stay on track with life because you wake up and everybody is sleeping, and the opposite, like it's not easy.
It's not easy for a reason, but coming from bodybuilding side of things, you keep you sane. So much bullshit with the going out, the this, the that, the other. I mean, at our point, it's a little bit of therapy. You've got to deal with all the personalities, all of this, all of and if you see your physique start to go, you fucking you hate yourself a little bit. And at the same time, whenever you walk up, who's the guy that you want to handle your shit? The guy that's in shape that you know is going to be on time, some kind of discipline if they eat right, if they train right, versus the other one, be a little bit of a hot mess express.
You were like a host and a built-in bouncer at the same time. That was like the when Ryan brought to he was
Yeah, you're too
you could be
big
your
for a
bouncer
host,
and your
man.
host.
Well, that was the original thing, was section host back in the day at Pure. And so
Pure.
then wasn't responsible for sales as much, just take care of the money. You can take care of the money, it'd work out real well for you too. And so then it evolved into go run the door or be a host in sales and whatnot. And at that point in time, you've got your own routine. Mine's a little bit more miserable than most because I'll wake up at 8 in the morning after being out at fucking 3 in the morning or whatnot. It's the only time you have to yourself before the rest of the world wants something. So your phone's blowing up, want this, want that, coming for this weekend, coming for that weekend. I mean, everybody's cool, but nobody gives a fuck. They want you to handle their shit, and they want to know what they want when they want it and everything else. And so from that window of time in the morning, if you're able to have your little bit of time. It's like the one year we competed at the same one for Jay's show that year.
Yeah.
That was a fucking miserable thing for me.
Yeah. That was a pretty stacked show too. I looked at this last show and they didn't look anything like when we were competing. Not even
Pre-COVID.
fucking close. No offense.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you competed.
Once upon a time.
Oh yeah. Dude, he not only did he compete, he trained with Jay for one of the Olympias.
No
Actually,
way.
Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah.
For I was his ghost trainer in there for that.
That's why you're fucking jacked, man.
That was. I mean, but
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That was back when I was 28 to early 30s.
When nothing hurt it.
Well, but
You feel like
pursue bodybuilding and how much money's in bodybuilding versus I get to go in here and work out with fucking Mr. Olympia. Fuck, every day I just got to go bring the noise and push him. And so it was good time.
that's cool. Which
Yeah.
year was that?
That was the original Swollen Monkey. If you go back to Swollen Monkey Productions, who's the original Swollen Monkey?
Where would you guys train at? Was it LVAC then?
It was LVAC and Golds back when Golds was still
Oh,
around.
was it Sandhill Golds?
Wouldn't know. Sandhill had just closed, but you still had.
The one Tropicana.
I would hit him up and whatever, like, where is it today? And that's where it
Yeah.
was. Originally, he came in as a table, and this was right after the loss to Dexter. And so he was going to break me off. I said, keep your money. Just let me work out. And he's like, all right, we swap numbers and see what it's about. And then he hit me up. I was like, all right, cool. So fucking from that point on, go bring the pain. And so that's how it just went into that. And next 6 years or whatnot, That's what it was.
Wow, you trained that 6 years with him.
Give or take. Yeah.
Wow,
If
I
you go,
didn't know that.
Fucking sick,
if
right?
you go back to the
That's
original,
crazy.
yeah. If you go
Fucking
back,
Prime Jay.
How many
too, for
how
the
many
Olympians,
people
dude.
can say that?
Nobody, like really, like right, especially with Jay, because it's like everyone wants to work
He's
out with
very
Jay,
picky.
and he's very picky with people.
again, you one whole lot of talk is just step on the gas and fucking go. If you go back and find the original videos and shit, and so that was my job, was to, if I can keep you, you ain't working hard enough. And so, yeah, it's a good time back then. And that
That's
was
so cool,
originally,
man.
yeah. And so instead of pursuing bodybuilding and whatnot, in the work here, just didn't have the time to be able to do both. You could be 90% in shape, but you couldn't, for what that is and what that life is, pick one or the other.
So for the people who are watching, explain what you do right now for work, so that we know, like,
Yeah.
it's totally different than the bodybuilding.
Yeah, the perception of what it is out here, you have to generate revenue. So if you're not booking tables, if you're not bringing in revenue, you're not earning money. But at the same time, to be the guy that greets everybody at the door, hi, where you from, who you with, what do you need, or what do you have booked, and checking that process in from start to
At
finish.
Zook.
Yeah, at
Yeah,
Zook, at Resorts World, and IUD Club at Resorts World. Back in the day was Wet Republic and Omnia and Hakkasan and that whole monster of a thing. But your hours are never off. As much
Yeah.
as you're off,
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
wants something on the other end. Versus a regular job, you clock in, you clock out. This shit, you're only as good as your last weekend, or
Yeah.
your last sales, or whatever's coming, or anything like that. And
So going back to when you trained with him, did you want to pursue bodybuilding to a certain point, or did you just thought it's cool to train with him?
no, there was a time that there was an itch for it, but it just didn't, with chasing money or chasing the bodybuilding. And so
You choose the right way.
chose the money as far as it goes, and still have the sickness of picking the shit up and setting it down anyway, and ain't getting paid for it. But
Yeah.
it's there was a time for it, but too old. If they would have had classic years earlier.
Did he have the genetics to be a good bodybuilder?
Oh yeah, he was huge. He was massive. Because I remember Ryan back, like you see him now, but I remember him. I remember you like what, 10 years ago when I was a junior host, and seeing him walk in, because you were, yeah, like I said, you were independent. I saw you a lot of EBC when I was working at EBC all the time, and he was just massive, and he's tall too, so he's just so imposing looking, especially in a suit, dude. He's like kind of scary.
Oh, yeah.
So when he walks in with his group, when he walks to the front door, all the attention goes to him, which is good because
Yeah.
he already knew him anyway. But he get right in with his clients, and it was he definitely brought a different vibe.
Or you
But
use that
he's
for the
huge.
money
Yeah.
angle of it. So then that's the
Yeah.
other thing. Oh, well, fuck, I get a 2-in-1. This motherfucker can handle shit and be able to handle the other thing, too. So you always use it to your advantage.
So you regret that you not competed more?
I would have liked if there would have been classic as an option back then.
But you're very tall.
Well, that's at the same time to be able to, do you like the 90s side of things
Yeah.
or the fucking mass monsters of things? And where you got to take it to.
What did you
For
like?
that.
What did you like?
A hybrid of the both. I mean, if somebody could still make it appealing or whatnot, which granted, going to train with Jay at all times, you fucking just grip it and rip it. As far as big's the only answer.
Yeah.
And so, again, if they would have had,
Classic, you would have maybe.
would have pursued that more. Yeah, for sure. Just because that
It's
I'm not
more,
gonna,
like, also it doesn't take that many years and that many
It's-
drugs and the food. It's still hard.
that's like
Don't get me wrong. I am a classic physique pro, but it's way easier than being a open pro.
you've got to give 10 years,
On top
hard
of it.
years, to say I want to go be a pro,
Yeah.
versus to be able to be a classic and be conditioned and not kill yourself in the same way.
Yeah.
Even though it's getting
It's
that
still
much
they
more
do it,
competitive
Yeah.
today. But as far as I think, when you open up the books and say what's more aesthetically pleasing versus here's the freak
Yeah.
shows, which the freak show's still the freak show.
Yeah.
We all fans of it. But, I mean, I think Bumstead, he should have more zeros behind him because of what he's done to make the game
Oh,
pivot
yeah.
and
Sure.
how many eyes
Yeah.
have come to it just because of it's in theory attainable. Not everybody thinks they can do it, but they can't
Yeah.
fucking do it. But what has he done for the sport to move it along in that way?
He's like the perfect case, right? The good-looking guy, insane genetics, great personality. He's just like the golden
Perfect.
boy.
And then when you see they're only making 50,000,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
This is you spent that in a year
again,
as a pro.
like I said, chase the money,
Yeah.
or do your passion on the side.
Yeah.
So it's a whole nother game. Yeah.
Yeah, you competed too. Like,
Yeah.
I think you looked good too. You had really good abs. And did you do classic or bodybuilding?
I switched to classic and I shouldn't have, but to be honest, for those classic shows, I mean, even the other ones, I didn't like love it, so I would like party like 2 weeks out.
Well,
I
that
mean,
was
that's I did
Like, you
that
know,
too. That's
like I would
that was
party
the thing.
throughout
If
prep.
you
Like,
guys know the Molly diet.
if you
Yeah.
if you come from a bodybuilding background and you got enough muscle on you,
Yeah.
it's not as
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, all right, if I can host and I can still do this,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I've got to get down to 230. I'm fucking 290. Okay,
Yeah.
we can. You got a little bit more to work with, and so that's a different thing.
Yeah, if you're open, you can't party when you're in prep. But
No.
Yeah,
if you're like I know many Olympians they partied literally on an Olympia prep.
Yeah.
Well,
You
yeah.
would have never guessed.
Well, Chris Cormier was
that-
known for it, right?
that's the wild thing too. So being at the club, you never who come through the club because being on the other side of it,
That's a
and
bit-
you get to deal with different people, different whatevers. And I came into the whole scene out here in Vegas when I was 22, and so you're looking up to everybody and like, oh shit! But then you see how the other side lives. Oh my God, it's way different than what the magazines tell you the diet is, or conditioning, or coming down is. So, yeah, Vegas, that special little place
No,
where
Vegas is
everything.
special.
It's becoming a mecca too for bodybuilding. I mean, you've seen it, Ryan, because we've been out here for so long. Like it's slowly built up. I give all the credit to Jay because Jay's like that's why I have him on every mural because I feel like he brought the scene to Vegas.
Yes, definitely.
And now it's just, I feel like it's the mecca. I don't know, maybe I'm just biased. What do you think, Ryan?
No, it is.
He's always so quiet and so humble about things and whatnot. But as far as the people's champ, and he's been so removed from the game for so long, but he's still giving
Still
back
the
to
most
the game.
relevant, yeah.
He's again still the people's champ with but showing the fact of going and making a life out of it. I don't know of another place that's as cost effective, that has as much opportunity, and now with the social media game and everybody coming through here, Vegas is no longer taboo either. 10 years ago, it used to be like, oh, you're going to Vegas. Now it's like, oh, shit, you're going to Vegas? They might not come to your barbecue, but they'll meet you in Vegas. A whole nother thing.
Yeah, I think Vegas is the mecca also. Like when you're big, you don't want to be in the humidity. And I lived in Florida, and it was terrible. And the dry heat, I think, is way better for bodybuilding. I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah,
I can't
agree.
live in humidity. It's like you walk out of your house and you're sweating.
3 showers a day.
Yeah.
But out here, it's cooking on you as fast as you're sweating.
Yeah.
Now, the days of being out at Wet Republic, it's 117
Oh,
degrees.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, I mean,
Fucking, you're dying. But
Yeah.
as long as you're not working in the heat, it's
Yeah.
not so bad. But
Something-
I can't think of a better place for as far as bodybuilding and fitness. Especially if somebody's got the aesthetics, they've got a mouthpiece to be able to work in the industry, be able to make money off the industry. Name another city that's as cost effective and with as much opportunity.
Yeah, like there's so many ways to make content because Jay always says that you could literally train every day in another gym. And good gyms, like LVACs are good. There's so many gyms. You could be every day in another gym and make content. In which place can you do that?
Well, who else are you going to run into at the city at the same time that you
Yeah.
can be able to collab, and more so not just gym content but lifestyle overall.
Yeah.
Between all the comedy shows, speaking of being able to go to all the concerts, all the everything is now coming to Vegas,
It's crazy.
and it's week in, week out, weekend, week out, doesn't stop.
Yeah, it's crazy. I love Vegas.
Yeah, and the cool thing about I feel like Vegas in the industry with hosting, I feel like the hosting kind of dictates what like that industry kind of dictates what's cool in Vegas. It's kind of like and I don't know. Tell me if you agree or not, but I feel like it's gotten so saturated now. But I feel like the golden era of the industry was back when at Wet Republic. Maybe I'm wrong.
For what I guess you could say our generation is and
Yeah.
whatnot, and that was kind of a concrete jungle, but it was one big square box that was fucking focused on the DJs. It was still early social media, versus now everything's gone so broad. You had a certain level of exclusivity back then that somebody had to come heavy-handed and pay. Somebody had to look the part or dress the part, and it was the party you wanted to be at that
Yeah.
not everybody could go
Dude,
to.
Wet Republic parties and that Golden
I
Time.
never
when we were there,
was, so-
it was like a whole nother. Like, don't get me wrong, the parties are cool now, but everyone's separated, right? Because there's so many different clubs
Yeah.
doing it. But Wet Republic and EBC, they own this pool party, and they would just have the most. I just feel like I had the most epic times that way. It would just go
Oh,
off.
man.
You would have enjoyed yourself. without a
The
doubt.
waitresses, it was just crazy, and the whole squad. I feel like at Wet Republic, they're all like fit dudes.
Well, that
So
was
there was like a fraternity there.
Rich.
Everyone wanted to work there.
Rich had a thing. You had to be in
Rich
shape
Kenny,
if you
legend,
yeah.
industry legend. Dude. Rich Kenny's the industry
Yeah,
legend.
but that's the thing in Vegas. I hope the quality doesn't get bad because let's be honest. I don't want to be rude, but I don't want to go to a pool party where 80% is not in shape because I we are from the fitness industry and you want to see this, fit people, good-looking people. You know.
Well, everybody's fighting for that same crowd, and now that the market's gotten
See, yeah.
wider and wider, it's and people can.
Now I know. What
Like
you
at
mean.
Wet, everyone was
Back in the
beautiful
days,
then,
there was
all
just
these
two
hot
of them.
chicks.
Or,
Yeah, there's people like literally waiting out line. That I feel like just me being here that particular time was the greatest time. That in like early rehab, but I didn't really get to experience that. It was just a whole nother level. 'Cause
so
you
back
could
in the
pick-
days, there were just
everyone
one
was
or
hot.
two,
Everyone was hot.
beach clubs.
It
or-
was
Yes.
what you know now, and that you've got 8 different spots in the city that are popping off. Versus back then, it was just feast or fam,
Wow,
and
that's
and
cool.
it would rotate on days like one Saturday,
Yes,
one
exactly.
Sunday,
It would rotate and you know where to go.
and
yeah.
it was super exclusive.
yes,
And
that's it. It was
as
exclusive.
whoever was in charge of the regime at that time, they were like, yo, this is the way the waitresses look, this is the way the buses look, this is the way the hosts look, this is just the thing. And even if people were spending money or whatnot, did they look the part at the right place? No, then they can't buy that spot. And
But I think
everything.
that is Vegas. Like, I came 2011 to Vegas, and back I was living in Switzerland back then, and I fell in love with Vegas. Imagine I just came to travel. That was 2011. I said to my friend, I'm like, one day I want to live here and perform here. And the funny thing is, 2021, I moved here and I performed in the same hotel as a comedian 10 years later.
Right.
And I was just so fascinated because people in Vegas, when they go out, they dress up, they go nice out. That's not everywhere like that. Like you go in Florida or somewhere else to clubs, people look like they literally woke up and ran into a club. I think they need to have certain quality of people in those clubs.
Well, that's even going to today, like running the door for the club and whatnot now, like you've still got to be put together. Everybody comes from a different background, a different whatever, but Vegas is the one place that you're going out or you're going to be seen or you want to be seen. So everybody, Vegas is still synonymous with I'm going to give someone money as a thank you, or you're going to Vegas it up with how they dress or their attire or whatever they're going to do. It's Vegas. Everybody does a little bit extra whenever
Yeah.
they come to it.
You see the coolest outfits. So I love about watching the casino because you see like these European cats come in with the freshest shit. So I feel like it's cool. 'Cause that's why you can tell. I feel like a lot of the style that came in Vegas, the hosts and the industry people would do it first because they would see it first. And then
Yeah.
kind of everyone else in Vegas would kind of bite it off.
You do see again, it's you never know it's the one place that you never know what you're going to see. Whether a guy's
Yeah.
got a duffel bag, fucking whatever, or somebody's in some flip flops and they're a billionaire, or just the most random shit, or influencer this,
Yeah.
or low key celebrity that. It's the one place that it keeps you on your toes.
And even comedy, the comedy scene in Vegas is so different than nowhere. Like you can't find this in nowhere in the US because there's so many different people in the audience.
Right.
Like normally, like I lived in Florida and performed a lot in Florida. Florida, you have Florida people. It's Florida. Like here you go, you perform. You have like people from Europe, all over the place. One guy is almost passing out. He's drunk. One guy is like on mushrooms and tripping, and it's just so fascinating doing comedy here, because you get like the whole world in one room.
Well, getting into the statistics of it, you're looking anywhere from 500,000 to a million people a week that
Wow.
are just steadily turning over. And
That's
you've
crazy.
got convention business roughly Monday to Thursday, then Thursday to Saturday, Sunday. You've got the party people, and sometimes they overlap. So leading into what you're talking about, you literally, we only have 2.5 million people that live in the city overall in a 24-hour city. But every week you've got roughly 40% of that coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out. So you've got
That's crazy.
you've got literally the best of everywhere else is generally coming here.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
Also performers, like we are blessed. Like no matter what fan you are, from singing, like from games, or there's always people coming here. Like one week Kendrick is coming, next week is like Beyonce. Like it's like everybody's coming here to perform. You can see literally everyone in Vegas.
Yeah, it's on fire, and I feel like COVID really helped us out. In
Yeah.
that sense, because Cali did such stupid shit that everyone was
Oh,
like, "Fuck
yeah.
this, let's just go to Vegas."
Yeah, yeah.
And now I feel like we're on fire, especially the A's coming. I mean, what you follow the money, right? So all these sports teams are coming here, and they have the best analytics of anybody. So you know they must see that the potential that's
Yeah.
going to pop off.
well, that's like look at last week with WWE.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
they came
it
and
was
they
packed.
Killed
they
it.
took over the city. I went both
That's
ways to the
crazy.
event.
How was it the
It was-
weekend for you guys?
I mean, it saved the city because you had Coachella going on. So
yeah, that's
a lot of the normal party scene was back-to-back weekends there. This weekend, Stagecoach. But thankfully, WWE coming as strong as they did, they
That was a
carried the
lot
weekend.
for Vegas. It helped probably so much.
No, it saved the weekend. Like in our industry, it saved the weekend. Like it
Did
wasn't.
you guys felt it in the club?
Yeah, no. I mean, you had however many people came. You had at least 60,000 that sold out the stadium, and so getting to go attend that and see that first person, like holy shit, and then let alone the transition of all those fans that were here the few days before, the ones that wanted to go out for the first time, everything else. Easter's normally a really really soft time for the city, so that held over our end of things.
That's crazy. Yeah, there's also a baseball team coming now where the
Yeah, the
Tropicana
A's,
was.
yeah.
Is that the A's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not the greatest with sports.
Well,
I grew up with soccer. I don't know anybody else. Anything else?
Yeah, no, it's on fire. We got the sports teams coming. Apparently, we're having a basketball team coming.
you've got what three different venues that they're trying to build for that
Yeah.
to say
So
which one.
They're
I've seen
saying-
Sony is building also.
Exactly.
That's
So,
crazy.
so they're talking about a recession, right? And I feel like, honestly, like, yes, maybe in a lot of cities in the U.S., but I don't think Vegas is going to feel that.
It's just not. It's got its ebbs and flows. Like the city's down
Sure.
according to gaming or whatnot,
Yeah,
40%.
I saw that.
But the volume of people is still coming. It's just they don't have as much to throw
Yeah,
around
they
as
don't
They did.
they don't spend as much, but that's not because of Vegas. That's because of
Yeah, no,
the
no.
financial in general. Like you
It's-
can't if people have no money, then how should they spend it?
Well, some of the spots are a little greedy with now that we have to pay for parking.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, that's just ridiculous,
Yeah.
right?
you know,
right?
and
It was
what is
never
it?
like
Also,
that.
the hotel fees, man. It's like you're
They're-
booking a hotel. Well, I can afford $200. Fees $350. Like,
Yeah.
how is this even possible?
Yeah, they
the
put-
hotel even doesn't earn anything.
Yeah,
you
well-
go. We had one time. Sorry, too.
No.
We went. We were a week out to get our new apartment, so we stayed at the Stratosphere. It was for the whole week, $150, but it was like $400 hotel fee.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is this possible? The hotel didn't make any money.
The stratosphere is rough.
The hidden
They
hidden
didn't make any
fees.
money from me. Like,
Yeah, the hidden fees are tough. And what is it? You had one of the spots they just got rid of all of their concierge.
yeah, no, but now I heard today also MGM,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not just Excalibur. I like to listen to that stuff too. So Excalibur doesn't have anymore, and now MGM and two other places they have no bellmans.
Yeah.
Do they call that?
You've got valet, bellman. Like if it's a non-revenue generating position,
Yeah.
they really leaned into it. But they also raised their fees and they raised their parking. But you're talking about one that has shareholders and like, all right, we have to show something moving on the bottom line for Q1 or going into Q2 or whatever it is. They kept their concierge at Bellagio, Cosmo, and Aria, but that's their
But they
five-star
need to.
their 5-star spots.
Well, I'm not going to a fucking 5-star hotel and bring my luggage up.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
why
Wynn
paying-
is way more chill than a lot of these spots, and they're like the nicest. I went to go to the Knights game, $50 to park in T-Mobile for the playoff game, $50
Yeah, we've been spoiled for as long as we have.
And how long does it take you to leave that parking?
forever.
For like
Yeah.
3 hours?
Yeah, but yeah, it's a lot.
It's
man.
in.
You can't.
It's-
It takes you hours to go out there.
You've got the growing pains of what you've got to
Yeah.
learn here in the city, and our public transportation isn't amazing, and ride share, and so there's some ways you got to figure out. Like, okay, I might go to Crazy Horse 3 and walk to the Raiders game or some shit
Oh,
like
yeah,
that. Like
that's a good-
there's some ways
Some promo from Crazy Horse hits us up.
some ways to skirt the issue to be able to get in and get out. But if you're just coming here, you don't know some of these things.
No.
That's where you got to.
Yeah, like back in the days, we lived at the Panorama Towers.
Oh, I love it there, dude.
And we had a car service.
That's
And every
what
time
Central-
when we went to partying, I said, all my friends park here. It's free valet.
Right.
So we parked and get 2 cars. They drove us to the club.
Yeah, the
It's
valley's
so
chill
cool,
there if
bro.
you take care of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of places $20 go a long way for the right guy. You see the
Yeah.
taxi cab line, walk to the guy, act like you know him here. And all of a sudden, you're not waiting an hour in line. Like there's ways, but
Yeah, but I think because people spend less money, the fees are going up. But I don't think that's a solution either. Like,
No,
like
it's
especially
short-sighted.
for locals. Like, I performed at the Jimmy Kimmels, and I normally get valet, like paid, not valet. Like they're like Fridays and Saturdays you don't get for free. I'm like, I'm performing here, so I pay him $30. to do my job. Like, how does this make sense?
Zero.
And I'm a local. I have local license plate. Like, I
Zero.
paid $30
You gotta
parking
get a player's
to
card,
go
but
play.
it's still annoying.
Yeah, zero fucks.
Like, I paid to go work.
and
It's
some of
so
them, if your
nice.
player's card isn't XYZ level,
Yeah,
you still
yeah,
can't.
that's they get you sometimes.
That's savage.
So it's a real thing. They're growing that tax everywhere you go. But that's how you have Durango starts doing as well as it does.
Oh yeah, you heard the ring. I wasn't there, but a lot of people go there,
Yeah,
like
no
locals.
parking fees
Yeah.
is amazing.
Well,
Same
that's
with Red Rock.
that's the
Great.
thing. Like they kill it on the bounds of Vegas because if you live in town, you're like fuck, I don't want to go to strip because I ain't trying to deal with parking. I got to deal with all the other bullshit. Like it becomes more of a nuisance that they've forgotten about the locals and don't take care of them as much.
It's not just the paying; it also takes long. Like for Valentine's, we went to the Aria. It took us so long to go to park, and like it's like a whole night to just go have dinner.
And valet's $40, just so you know, Aria too.
But they were full.
Well, that means
They were full. Like
That means you
I
got to tip
always.
them, and that means you got to
I
tip them
know,
20.
but
and
then
$40.
at some point you give like $100 to park. I'm like,
Wild.
if you don't, you're going to try to get the next guy, and that's where that mentality comes from. To where it's just a tax one way or another, coming and going.
it's crazy, man. But the city is growing. Like, I know I read a lot of things that the casinos their debt is going more up and up and up. But I feel like because we are building Vegas more interesting, we're gonna get more people. You can't get. Is it not true? It's a certain.
I just came back from what is it, Death Valley, and coming back through the 95. I had no idea that Vegas had stretched as far out to almost to the prison now. It's like Mount Charleston. They've got houses and shit.
Oh
Used-
yeah.
It used to be nobody lived out there. I was like, what the fuck
That's
is all
crazy.
this? It's a whole, and it was a 30-minute commute to get to the city. I was like, okay, so even at traffic, somebody's
Yeah.
driving 45 minutes to get to the strip, where we're spoiled with 20 minutes. Like, and we're bitching about waiting for parking for 10
Yeah.
minutes, whatever it is. We've been so spoiled for so long. Now we're dealing with that city problems.
Yeah.
You want more and more of the Tesla tunnel, and our transportation's a whole nother thing in the city with shit.
I mean, it's still not like California, at least.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Not
mean,
that bad.
Yeah.
we live like 45 minutes away, but the traffic is not that bad, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
For how many people live in Vegas, it's still okay,
Again,
to be honest.
we're super, super spoiled
Yeah.
with the way things have been for as long as they've been.
But I'm going to say the prices went really up. Like, I came here to Vegas 2018. You could have gone for $800 a small apartment. Like, yeah, shitty apartment, but you got an apartment here. There's no way.
No, it's
1,500 at least. And it's still not a nice apartment.
Yeah, everything's getting stepped on. Everybody wants their piece.
Yeah.
Everybody wants their piece. But it's if you like, we all stay in the same track. So until you start to go and you're like, oh shit, they've got M is building another tower now, so it's that far out, and as wide as the city's going, everything that's going on in Henderson. You look at Fit Club; it's adding a third
That's
Fit Club
crazy.
now.
So how is it now at Zouk in the nightlife? You think less people go out, or do you guys even feel any difference from, let's say, how many years are you now working for Zouk?
I'm one of the day one guys, so this is coming straight out of the pandemic. 4 years.
So do you see like numbers going down, or?
This year, the last year with the whole election and everything else, if I were to say the last 12 months have been the hardest 12 months since the pandemic. But everything that you feel in the economy, the whole tariff situation,
Yeah,
whether somebody's
everyone's feeling
right, left, it's just the wealthy are wealthy. It's to everybody that's in between. Like I gotta think a little bit more about what I'm doing, or I want to book the one thing, maybe not the three things.
Yeah.
And so everybody still wants Vegas. It's just a little bit more tempered. And so until Trump figures out whatever the hell he's doing, the whole tariff situation, it's you feel it. It's more of a constriction. But also you've got the demographics of the crowd that's changing towards more of a festival crowd. Like they'll happily come and
That's what I wanted to ask. So I don't know if you guys saw that statistic, but they say that new generation is 80%, they drink 80% less than our
Yeah.
generation. So we obviously know why. But do you guys, you as a club, you're going to feel if somebody, let's say, we can talk about, if somebody just takes drugs or drinks, you're
Again.
going to feel that in your end of the night.
maybe or maybe not that week
Yeah, the margins on alcohol is crazy.
of the spear whenever Anima came and everybody showed up in their glasses and already faded, and they weren't drinking anything. So, I'm not security, so I don't know, but there is certainly a different vibe that comes with the ones that just want to go to the thing and just rage in the crowd and ain't spending for a table. It's a whole different economics to where you have to make a shift. That's like Live. They knocked down some walls and opened up some more room because they have more people that'll pay $200 for a ticket. Then we gonna knock this wall down so we get another 1,000 people in this motherfucker. $200 a ticket every night over how every
Wow.
time adds up. And so that festival crowd, they'll pay to go see the
That's what- yeah.
XYZ just because they want to go there versus get a table and be more comfortable, which is more of the grown-ups. Like, man, I ain't want nobody fucking step
Yeah.
on my J's, hit up my chick, all this other dumb shit. They don't care. They just go
So
out
the
there.
shift is more like because they drink less, they are willing to pay more for entry fees. Like
They're
they
more-
say, I'd rather pay $80 for a ticket, but I have fun.
They want to be at the place to take the picture from being out in the crowd versus the comfort of the experience. They care, want to go out there and rage. And when I mean 300 ticket, that's 300 ticket and waiting in line.
Wow.
And still deal with all the bullshit at the bar, deal with all the bullshit out in the crowd. Like the following that some of these DJs have, it's crazy.
But do you guys see a decrease of drinking? That's like something that I really.
Well, on the revenue side, at the end of the night, you know what your bottle sales are, what your table revenue is, versus how much went over the bar, and just in sheer volume, there's been a shift over the last 12 months, just because the economy is what it is,
Yeah.
and that's a real quick way to see, is it going up, is it going down, and you have the year-over-year analytics. What was it this weekend? Because normally this is what's going on this weekend. Cinco de Mayo is always this. EDC weekend is always this. Labor Day is always this. Like you have
Yeah.
those year-over-year things to be able to look at, and you can tell.
Do you, on music wise, is there like any kind of music where people drink more? Like I feel like hip hop people drink more than I think like electronic music. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know about hip hop music.
I mean, I'll say the day club drinks more just because it's out in the heat.
Yeah.
So as you see
You
the
need to
temps
drink
go up,
something, yeah.
you'll see it that needle move. But then EDC weekend, people won't buy as much alcohol. They'll buy a lot more water bottles, and so so you'll see the.
But then the
movement
tickets
here,
go
there.
up, obviously.
Yeah, but then ever since they built the camp out at the Speedway, so you got like 30,000 of them that stay out there now that no longer come back and forth during the day at the city, just where that used to be a traffic nightmare. So the city is still moving to accommodate all the things and to make the experiences better for whomever or whatever's in crowd. Like you still haven't had the matchup yet of where you have country, which has become the hugest fucking thing lately, and EDM to where that whole thing's kind of meshed together. So you got hot chicks and cowboy boots and cowboy hats that everybody will be like, fuck it, I'll go spend $10,000 on the table to go to that party. And so that's going to be the next thing that hasn't really popped off yet.
I don't know how you guys are, but I just can't imagine me 3 days in a festival. Like I don't know if I'm too old, but
Dehydrated,
I just
need
like
meals.
I like having a table, like you said, going out with friends and not being like for 10 hours on my feet.
I can imagine.
I mean, you're talking to somebody who goes to Burning Man for a fucking good time. So
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
7 days
I'm
of
gonna
Mad
go
Max.
one day with you in one of those festivals, but
That's a whole nother animal.
Yeah.
But I'm used to deal with
Well,
this shit
you-
on the weekend, day in day out. Well, okay, the same shit today. But every now and again, that's one of the cool things about Zook. Like it has one of the best main rooms in the city. So I'll walk in, I'm like, holy shit, this is where I work. Like this is the thing. Like having James Hype last night, and he comes in every other week or whatever and does his thing. But I get lucky enough to be able to see that on the regular. So that's like Millennium tonight. He'll come in.
Oh,
He's a
that's
huge
so sick.
festival
You guys got
guy.
Millennium tonight?
And so
That's my favorite DJ.
I want to go.
Oh.
I want to go on the 16th for Argy.
Oh, you guys have Argy?
Yeah, on that
Holy
front.
shit.
Let's go together,
Dude,
bro.
I'm down for Argy.
Let's
Argy's
go.
one of my favorite-
Ask
You guys have
Kevin.
Argy?
that's the
Yeah, on the
kickoff.
16th.
Fuck.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to convince
Oh,
my wife.
Yeah, I'll
Hello,
go with
baby.
you for Argy, dude.
Yeah, that's
I
the-
love Argy. Damn.
Yeah, on
That's
the
a great
16th,
signing,
bro.
huh?
Yeah, that's kickoff.
Wow.
We should
for,
go.
Good one.
EDC weekend. I think Fit Club's going to come. So there it
Yeah,
is.
I want to go.
Oh, Argy. I love Argy.
You
I
are
would
down?
love to go to Argy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You get whoever does a post or whatnot inside of the thing, tagging Fit Club and Zook or whatnot. That,
Yeah.
a couple that's in
Couple
town.
guest lists.
There you go. That Fit Club can bring a guest from the pod.
Yeah, like the quality of the DJs that the clubs these days have is also insane.
Insane that all of them
Like,
have it. It's so
I
crazy
told my wife,
competition.
like in Europe, I'm like, I wish I could to see Tiesto or these and that. Like, you could see them like in a regular night here. You
Well,
go to a club, you
Wild.
see Tiesto. Like,
Well, Lenny
that's
have sold out an
unreal, you
arena.
know?
He sold out Allegiant Stadium. I went there, and now he's at Zook. It's so intimate. That's crazy.
it's yeah, that's one thing. But again, we're back to what we get to do on a day-to-day basis is spoil. That's like I'm a caricature at Fantasy Island because I get to, every day I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, what's the thing? Here's the thing. But everybody's coming, and so that's why you still want to give good service, still want to make it a thing because somebody saved up from wherever they are to come
Oh,
for
yeah.
this is their thing for the year or for whatever it is. And that's what's still kind of cool about the job is it's somebody's birthday, it's somebody's anniversary, it's somebody's
Yeah,
whatever.
not everybody is just rich and can afford that. Like, you need to make it special. That's cool.
Whether or not
Yeah.
it's somebody who bought tickets or whatever that you still want to make
Yeah.
it's that
It's the
moment.
experience.
Yeah, that moment's the thing at whatever scale that it is. It's still that cool of a
But
moment.
that's a good mindset, man. Because I sometimes feel comedians have that mindset. Like when it's a small crowd, they're like, "Oh man, I'm just gonna do the regular stuff." I'm like, you never know. Maybe somebody had no time for a year to go out, and now he's in a comedy show, and he wants to have fun. Like why? Like you always need to treat it special, no matter what you do. And I think that's important. Like for you, it's normal being at Zook, but when I come to Zook, you always are so. The service is amazing. Like I feel like a king. Like, and that's like a
It's all about who you know, for
yeah,
sure.
It's one of those things, but you out here you truly never know who you're going to bump into. That could be the person that can break you off whatever, or that can give you a job in something different. Or I had somebody take me to Greece most recently, to where I got to go sponsor like I was an influencer or something,
nice.
and just all comes from personal relationships
Yeah, the
along the
people you
way.
meet as a host, especially at your level, it's just crazy.
It's you never know where an opportunity is going to come from.
But it's karma, because you probably didn't know who that person is, and you treated him well, so he treats you well.
It's that golden rule. If you be the person you'd want to run into, or the
Yeah.
person you'd want to meet, or whatever it is, and things always generally work out. That's how even with Jay, I had met him at the Arnold Classic when I was like 20, 21, and I went up asking him some question about inner chest or some such shit. And then whenever I bumped into him when I was 26, if I could remember the whole conversation and everything else, he's got the memory of an elephant.
Oh, but he is great. We talked about that last
Yeah.
podcast too. His memory is like out
Yeah.
of this world.
Yeah.
He literally didn't saw me for 2 years. Hey, how's your dog? How's this? I'm like, how did you know this stuff? It's
Yeah, that's
crazy.
that's one of those things. You pick up little bits from here and there, but whenever you get to see somebody at whatever level that they still take the moment and make it real,
Yeah.
it's one of those things you try to pick up and learn from.
You need to treat everyone like you want to be treated. And like I said, I believe in karma, man. I'm not very religious, but I believe when I treat other people well, it's going to come back no matter what.
Like, yeah, you never know.
And like you said, this is also a topic I want to talk. Like for people who come new to Vegas, obviously to know people is important. But give us a couple tips about, for instance, you're coming first time to Vegas, which I mean you don't need to say come to Zook, but what should they do? I feel like there's some guest list websites. There's some like give them some tips. Like
I mean, one of the easiest things to do is just go to the IG page of it, and you can see who works there. And by reaching out who works there, you can reach out to that person and say, "Hey, I'm coming in," or they've got a cell phone number that's attached to it, and be able to tag them or text them like, "Yo, I'm coming in for XYZ for 9 guys for a party or whatever it is. Can you help me out?" Or even go into the main website page to be able to do so, or scoping out in advance. You just got to the city. It's always going to hurt the worst waiting to the last minute and trying to shoot from the hip, walking up to the club like, tax is the tax because this is
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
available. Same as like seats on a plane. As it got booked up, price can't help but go up.
yeah.
But if you know you're going in 3 months, like, all right, talk to the guys. What are we working with budget wise? Reach out to somebody. Hey, this is what we're trying to do. Can you point me in the right direction? A little bit of communication go a long way.
Is there any like back in the days there were like websites where you can get guest lists from certain clubs?
Well, every one of the main clubs has them, but usually whenever you see the tag or you search for it, you'll see in somebody's bio that's like mine is Zook and Io, so
Okay.
it automatically organically pops up.
Oh, that's cool.
And so then my name will be second, and then people reach out like, "Hey, I see that you work at whatever. Can I, whatever, wanted to come for this weekend or anything else?" And if you're good at what you do, you try to handle somebody's entire weekend, because now my network is your network. So if I can help with dinner, or send you over to my homie at the other spot, just so now it's that much more of a seamless experience. And then, tips of the trade, be like, all right, I can put you in touch with the limo driver and charter it for an hour, and you go drink a bottle that costs $40 on the limo, go to Las Vegas sign, get your photo, do your pregame, and then go to the club, versus you spent an extra $1,500 to get it at the club. And,
That's a good tip.
little things to make it an experience to where like, oh shit, I wish we would have done this, or I wish we would have done that. Or, oh, it's your chick's birthday. Here, let me let the maitre d' know that it's your birthday. And so now they send out a little something, and now there's a relationship that's built versus just another name. And now that there's an experience, like, oh, yo, hey, my homie's coming. Can I put him in touch with you? And it's just snowballs and builds and builds and builds.
Are those party buses still in?
I mean, for the right price, it all depends. I mean, whenever you think about what the economics of things are, to be able to say you got 10 of your friends and it's all 5 couples, went to Las Vegas sign, you crushed a bottle along the way, got the photo at the thing, showed up to the club in a limo or whatnot. Now everybody got a little something for the gram. They had the moment.
I think also good for guys who travel to Vegas. Strip clubs sometimes also do free shuttles.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a big group, that's a good tip too.
Yeah.
I think like
Fuck yeah.
Every one of them
Do
is
it.
fighting for it. I mean,
Yeah, because they get broken off.
Yeah,
Still. Not as much as usually,
but the cab drivers,
good.
they're collecting on bringing you to the spot. Like, your coming to Vegas has an economic footprint that is going to affect someone. So make it the someone that can make the biggest difference in your trip.
yes,
And collect $20 from each person just to be able to tip at each spot, because that might be the difference in being in the back of the room versus, oh, you're the person who got upgraded and got to be right here. And so those little things, but not everybody knows how to say it, or not everybody can be direct about it, or like,
I think you can do that even in hotel rooms. Just $20 sometimes, and they upgrade you. Like,
Well, yeah.
a way better room.
well, just at the check-in, whenever you're
Yeah.
walking in to check in, whenever you give
That's
your ID,
crazy.
put 20 or $50 inside of there. They're like, oh, Mr. Smith, it looks like we have a suite open. I think we're going to upgrade you here.
That's
and,
crazy.
And that was the difference. You're still paying the resort fees,
I
but
know, but
nonetheless, you got
still.
the $300 room
Yeah.
versus the $80 room. And again, if it's there, that's Vegas. Cash is still king. It's just got to know
Yeah.
when and where to use it.
You need to know where to use it, and don't be stingy. I hate when people are stingy, man. It's
Well-
like service industry is really a hard industry. I worked in the service industry too. I worked many years as a bartender, and then as a club manager and event manager back in Switzerland. And I know it's a hard job, man. And this is something did you ever travel to Europe?
I just went to Greece. That was my
Other than
only
that?
time. No.
You?
No.
Well, the party scene in Europe is so different. It's like we think we are hardcore here, but Germany, Switzerland, oh, it's like it's another world.
I've dealt with enough of them to get the vibe of it. Like here, where everything's a little more posh.
Oh, no.
There, you fucking buckle up and ride.
Well, I remember I was like 24, 25. I was running a techno club. We were opening on Friday night at 10 till Sunday evening.
Yeah,
We were not closing for 2 days.
yeah. You guys.
Imagine this in Vegas. Like,
That,
I was literally going to the office, sleeping, waking up, and checking in the club. It's like, it's crazy.
good old gaming regulations here won't allow for some of those. And
Yeah.
doing whenever it's peak time double season, like back in the heyday of stuff, it was you get a cat nap and a shower and a meal and plug back in,
Yeah.
cat nap, shower and a meal, and you'd start on Thursday night and do Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday day, go out to EDC Sunday night, then turn around, come back and work Monday night, and fucking
Yeah,
it's
so
all a blur.
I was managing in Switzerland the club, techno club. We were open from Friday night till Sunday night.
Yeah.
Through.
That's crazy.
I literally needed to arrange DJ for 2 days, DJs and dealers, like really
Yeah.
drug dealers, because how do you want to have a club open for 2 days if there's no drugs in the club?
Can't say that I know anything about any of that. It's that European living right
No,
there.
European it is completely different, man. There were clubs in Zurich. They were opening at 7 a.m.
Yeah,
Like you
That's
go
wild.
to a club at 7 a.m.
yeah. That's some of the Miami
Like
living
Paul
now.
Kalkbrenner, I remember like Paul Kalkbrenner is like one of the big. He's like playing like you are in a cellar. I'm like, what is this DJ doing in here? Like a famous ass DJ.
Well, that's you've got space down in Miami now, but they'll go for like 96 hours straight.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That place is next level.
European people are like, we think we are crazy here, but this is.
Yeah, that
When people say New York never sleeps, New York sleeps. I partied in New York. Vegas, you can party for a long time, but Europe is different, man.
Yeah, y'all
One
y'all
day we need to go through Europe.
y'all have no rules over there. It's a whole nother
No,
thing.
it's a whole other world.
Yeah, everybody lets it happen.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, they have other regulations, but by stuff like that, I have no idea how we had that club like open for 2 days. It's like, it's nuts.
Yeah, that's the time for Vegas. That was before I got here. I heard of those stories back in like the early 2000s and late 90s or whatnot, like Empire Ballroom and shit like that.
Empire Ballroom.
I've only heard of these stories, but never seen
I
it.
mean, in Vegas, there's a party scene. I think it's, I would say one of the biggest party scenes. People say Miami, but I still feel like in Vegas there's crazy motherfuckers because I had a couple of times where we are like, it's like 9 a.m. and like somebody says, hey, we have a house party. You want to come over? I'm like, it's a creepy ass house party. Then we go. It's noon. 200 people still partying. I'm like, how the fuck is this possible, bro? Do they have no jobs?
That's
But that's Vegas.
yeah.
That's crazy. Like that's what it's like. So you can do so many things in this city. You could be literally not involved in any of this. You could be into sports, bodybuilding. Like there's so many industries living together.
Well,
It's amazing.
that's one of the your night starts here and then you bump into along the way here and bump into along
Yeah.
the way here and next thing you know you're going after hours and they're walking out and you're walking in and you're
Yeah,
like,
it's so
shit.
funny.
Just feel bad about yourself. The whole thing.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but life is short, bro.
there's
It's like,
always another thing out here.
there is.
There's another, yeah, and it just as you were saying, it's who you know. And no, come for this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I can never know what it's going to turn into.
Yeah, and like sometimes you feel like, oh, this is gonna be bad or like creepy, but then you really go and it's like a mansion full of people. I'm like, I want to go home, but I'm glad I came.
It's always a story, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's still mind-boggling to me. I walk into now, I get like sleep gummies. I don't like weed, but I like to sleep gummies, and it's still fascinating to me that I can walk into a store and just buy drugs. I'm like not the like you guys know me. I'm open to everything, but it's still so weird to me that I can go to a store and buy weed,
Yeah.
and I'm living here for a long time, and it's still to me weird.
Well, it
And
used
I think we are not far away. And I look, people use, for instance, MDMA for mental health or ketamine, and I think to a certain amount, it's gonna be at some point legal because so many people use it.
Should be.
there's such a tax deficit or such a deficit on the system as far as what the country owes. Like eventually FDA is going to come in and say, Big Pharma, all right, you guys, mom and pop, you've been doing it this long. This is now we're going to do it. And then all of a sudden it'll be 50 state legal and they'll make $1 off of
That's
it.
how you get rid of
Yeah.
that drug cartel problem in Mexico. Big
Yeah,
time.
but I think it's not a bad idea. Like,
No,
let's
they've
be
done it in
honest.
countries.
Let's be honest. If somebody wants to
Right.
take something, you find it.
Yeah.
Well,
Why are you not just giving them the
And who are you
like
to
like
judge?
weed,
Well,
like
It's
rather they buy from a store instead of from a dealer,
Exactly.
like in a back alley, you know?
well, that's because they've cleaned that side of it so much. They've made the black market more favorable than the clean market because of the so many taxes in it. So there's
That's
whenever you get all the boats in line and you get everybody else in line, they figure out how to make the money off of it. It's going to happen. But to his point, like that war on drugs, as soon as they make it better, make it legitimate. All right, here's your script for whatever because it blew my mind growing up. Ketamine, that was something people were breaking into vets for. Now all of a sudden people are using
That's
it
what I'm
for
saying.
therapy.
yeah.
Yeah,
I-
that's what I'm saying.
no
Out of
idea.
France, they're getting like ketamine injections. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
I thought, like, you're going to be all right? You're going to fucking fall into a
Yeah.
coma? Like, no, this is prescribed.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a brave new world with what's coming.
That's why I was asking about the revenue because I really feel young people don't drink anymore. Like when I grew up with drinking, like in Switzerland, you can drink with 16. You can already drink wine and beer. So I grew up with drinking a shit ton of beer, and then you start drinking alcohol in general. But I feel like the generation here, they don't drink anymore.
Well, I think weed has been such a big thing that's
Yeah.
affected it, but that's where it almost, I don't know what the legality is of the age and everything else and how, but it's always been a don't ask, don't tell type thing that's been around for at least the last decade
Yeah.
or longer. And so, yeah. and fucking bath salts for that matter. Whatever other crazy shit people are
I'm
getting a
gonna
hold
search
of.
some bath salt when I go
Don't
home,
do it,
bro.
bro. Don't do
Can
it.
I go Bath and Beyond and find that?
Yeah, I don't know. No,
Are
I
there
would never
stores?
do it again.
Are
One
there
and
any
done.
stores who sell that still?
I've heard of more horror stories than I have positive stories on that one.
Wow. Is it real bath salt,
I have no idea. I didn't even know
or
I
is
did
it called that way?
Well, I don't know what a bath salt is, if I can even say.
Yeah, who
but
knows?
but that's what.
I would assume it was like your meth experience, but more
Yeah,
intense.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember seeing the guy that was eating somebody's face down in Miami that was strung out on fucking bath salts,
Yeah.
running around like a zombie and shit. I don't know that that's a good time.
The sleep deprivation. That's the one bad thing about the uppers.
Oh,
is
yeah,
the-
yeah.
Especially as a bodybuilder and how important sleep is.
yeah, I mean, I don't like uppers. I like uppers because I'm a slow person. I get with weed very
Well,
slow.
at the nightclub, that's probably what's going on, right? I mean, all the time.
I mean, again, just on what the per capita is. I mean, a lot of places they have back in the pools they have like amnesty boxes just for like don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah,
Whatever,
yeah.
throw your shit in there or whatever it is. Like I remember back at rehab, but you had 10, 12,000 people coming through the door on one given day, and like it was just a whole different world. But again, you've got everybody that's like, I'm going to do my Vegas, and so motherfuckers going off over the top with whatever it is that they're trying to do. So it's a whole different world.
You think rehab was the greatest pool party of all time?
I mean, it was probably the one that kicked it all off.
Yeah.
I could say, and then especially back whenever they had the show and all that shit, like that was the peak moment of that whole vibe and scene. But there's a evolution that's happening. I think
Yeah.
what is it? The evolution of wet. You've got Palm that's coming now. That's
Yeah.
going to open up right there, and that's a nicer version.
Is that
of
the
what-
MGM
so
one?
many-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what was Wet Republic, that same spot,
Ah.
and they partnered with.
Yeah, and I said it's more luxury. I don't know what that means, but it's
Yeah, I mean,
probably just charging more.
well, they put some plants out there now, and
Yeah.
greened it up a little bit because it was just a concrete jungle that you just go out there and fucking rage,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just is what it is, and you knew what you were getting into, but that's what you signed up for. But yeah, well, as soon as the places had all the amnesty boxes and things like that, like it was just about everybody that's came to Vegas that's partied probably more than 2, 3, 4 times, they have a dumb story if they did something dumb or they were
Yeah.
doing something in that direction or whatever that changed the whole game.
I need to admit something. I was never in a pool party. Never.
Wow.
They're the best. It's like where we
It's
thrive,
just
bro.
like for me, like I hate being hot. I get fast hot. Like I get almost like I freak out when I get too hot.
Jump in the pool, bro.
Yeah, but is there enough? Is there even space in those pools?
Yeah, of course,
I
you're
see those
jacked.
videos in the stories
No,
with
there's
like
space.
packed pools and like.
Going to Sunday.
You want to be in the you ease into it in the Sunday where you start out over at Red Rock and then it's nice. Now again, when it's 117, it's a whole
So
other
which
thing.
day is the best to have the most chill?
I mean, if you want chill Friday, Sunday you're going to get a DJ. Friday's not a DJ because Friday's a travel day, so most people don't get here till later in the evening.
Oh, yeah.
So your main premier nights in the city is Friday night, Saturday day.
Do you
Sunday
guys have
day.
any EDC specials at Zook for the pool party?
Well, you just had a Cascade kickoff today at IU or whatnot, and so I'd have to look
Sick.
at
You
my
guys
phone
got
to be able to say.
Cascade too.
And so same way it is for nightclubs, same thing it is for pools. And a lot of people, they think, oh shit, I'm gonna go rage fucking all weekend long. This month of May, it's okay, but as soon as you get June, July, August, that's when that heat hits, and it's just the devil turns it up, and it's just cooking.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it? 1 year you had it didn't get below 90 for 90 days, and that's including nighttime. It was just
That's so
90,
wild when you say that.
just
That's
fucking
crazy.
cooking.
When you say including nighttime, you really
Yeah,
tells
for,
you.
for 90 days, it did not
That's
get
great.
below 90 degrees.
I think I need to go in May before it gets too hot.
Yeah, you got a couple weeks left, and
Yeah.
and it's like, oh,
Maybe
this is good.
EDC weekend.
Yeah, well, it's tougher there, but we
Well-
have to just get in there.
Well, no, EDC weekend's good because
People are gonna be at EDC.
people are still out at EDC, but they really stack the lineups for the day clubs on Friday, Saturday, Sunday daytime because some people they'll party in the pools and then they go party out at EDC, and you'll have some guys they'll still play their set at the club, catch a helicopter, and then go out to fucking EDC, and it's a whole ass thing, and then everybody locally goes out to EDC Sunday night, so that's you're working your ass off all week long to be like, all right, I'm gonna go let loose on Sunday night.
It's crazy. Sunday night is like a low service night, right? Like where
I
the
mean,
service people.
unofficially, because you've got so many people that are here for it, they leave
Yeah.
town or whatnot. But that's a time when everybody's like, all right, it's been about the work all weekend long, and now go out there and blow off some steam on Sunday night. And that's what is it? Tiesto. He announced he's going to do a sunrise set at 5:15. So like, fuck, I was trying to be out of there before the sun comes up and
That's
shit. And,
wild.
That's crazy, man.
yeah, I was setting up a ride yesterday to go out and like
So in the like highest season, what time you go there and what time you leave, and what time you sleep, and how's your daily look like? I'm just wondering.
Well,
you probably
it's-
don't get a lot of sleep.
well, no, when I had my Whoop on, what is it? 83% of the year was 3.5 hours or less,
What?
and that literally the
That's
app
wild.
doesn't
I don't
lie.
think I sleep any less than 7 hours the
Yeah,
whole year.
especially as a bodybuilder.
Yeah,
you
in
have
a,
to.
in a perfect world, but whenever that phone rings and it's money on the other end,
That's true.
and so and if it's
Yeah.
you try to get
You
back
need an
and try to
assistant,
respond,
man.
shit.
Give me your phone when
Yeah.
when you go sleep. I
See,
take your phone.
that's how it works right there,
Yeah.
just like that. Yeah, that's that quick. But it's and you pick one day and you sleep all day and you recover. That's your recovery day, and then you're back into it.
Yeah.
Because there's the weekend, but then there's the
Yeah, because
it's-
you go home, you sleep a couple hours, then you need. Are you also at the pool parties, or is that more?
well, that's day night.
You
So
do
whenever
both.
so whenever
Oh,
it's
man.
whenever it's peak
Wild.
season,
That's wild.
Especially
man.
when you're a junior, when you're on the low in the totem pole, you gotta stay the whole time. Ryan's high up, so I'm supposed to work hard, but when you're first coming up, it's brutal.
you still, if you get lazy, you feel it. So you still
Yeah.
want to go see your people.
Sure.
You still want to give everybody time. You want to go make sure.
But you
'cause,
don't have to. Right?
you don't-
But you bet you should. Right.
it's your business.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, even if you don't get to see him at your spot, you still make a chance to go see him at the other spot and go to dinner with him or go whatever it is, because these are people that, it might have started on a business thing, but it turned into a friendship. So
Yeah.
then when you're at whatever place, like, oh, I'm in town, I'm like, oh, whatever. And then next thing you know, like, oh, this is my guy in Vegas. And then everybody's like, oh, fuck, I need a guy in Vegas. And it's a never ending thing, but it becomes as organic as you make it with the people that you know. Because then they're like, oh, well, shit, I want to work out or whatever it is. And it's what's this, what's that, and another. Or you're saying, oh, yeah, I'll get you in the fit club to be able to go train when you come to town. And, the whole world flips on the other side of things, and to where you're going out for kids' birthdays and everything else. And so you make these relationships with things. And so you want to try to give everybody a little bit of time. You you give up your time, and it just is what it is. Like my phone automatically will go to sleep mode at like 3:30 to 6:30, to where I can't be
Yeah.
bothered, or it won't get a notification or whatnot. But then, you want to eat an hour before you go to the gym at fucking 8:30. So you're up at 7:30. Make your shit. Go back to sleep.
But the gym keeps you from not getting insane, probably.
Well, no, that's if
Exactly.
you. That's like give up 100 pounds and see how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
It's just part of your thing.
Yeah, I think, no matter how shitty I feel, like I just fitness like never disappoints. Like it's like
Even
the
on-
weights are here. Like
Even on your
you're
bad
never
day.
gonna like you never have a workout and you say I should have not trained.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You always feel better after a workout, no matter how bad that workout was.
yeah. Once you like, if you can't get into the zone, you're like, all right, fuck it, today's not the day. Like it's just ain't got the spark. But 9 out of 10 times, like, I'm glad that I went, or at least
Yeah.
you were able to stay on track or to be able to move
Yeah.
it forward.
So would you recommend people who work in the nightlife who maybe watch that, like how important is fitness?
Well, it affects my money. So again, that's always been part of the thing that's helped me earn, because I've always been this stature, this
Yeah.
whatever. That's
Exactly.
my way of who I am, and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
part
that's
of
your personality.
yeah, it's just part of what it is. And I'm cranky if I don't fucking go get a workout. To be like, oh, you probably need to eat, or you need to go work out. I'm like, you know what, you're right. Go
But
for
I
it.
feel that too. I think that's the hardest part of being retired, because I don't want to be smaller because people know me this way. And that's probably the same you. Like, no matter how shitty you feel, you also don't want to look smaller,
Well,
because that's your personality.
Yeah, it's part of
Yeah.
I since I came out of high school. Like you are.
Yeah.
It's just it's
And
part of who
you're
you
the
are.
handsome car cutie.
Oh, thanks, bro. Yeah, my
you're
thing's
always
being ripped.
always shredded all year
Yeah,
long.
that's kind of my thing.
Imagine you would be fat.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
feel like
even
if you're a
imagine you're
trainer,
fat.
you own a gym, you got to be in good shape.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing too. Like, who wants to work out with the trainer that's fucking out of shape?
Some
Yeah.
people
Nobody-
do. It's weird.
Well,
I-
there's people. Don't say
I don't know that
There's-
they want to.
Yeah,
they choose to,
Yeah.
but should they?
I-
That's a whole nother thing.
I see trainer. They have no idea what to do.
Well,
That's the crazy part in Vegas too.
if you got an Instagram page now, you can be trained.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
But they still don't know what they're
They're,
doing.
well, they're acting like they're
Like,
reinventing the wheel with shit.
like the client says, I want to build muscle look better. They're doing jumping jacks. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you're not getting muscle from jumping jacks. Like
Yeah.
this.
And I feel like we have a lot of good ones here. Like
Yeah, yeah, no.
But you
I'm
go to
saying from
especially-
LVSC. Go to
yeah.
LVSC, bro. It's like
And especially when you start going to because when you start off because the independent guys, just like the hosts, I feel like at some point make a lot of money unless you're at a higher level. But like so you go to like a you know I don't know like an EOS and like
oh,
they're
but-
just starting
It's
and not to talk shit, but it's just like
yeah, they're
there's-
starting.
it's
everyone could be a trainer now.
yeah. There it used to be you had to have your qualifications, you
It's
had to be
way
certified,
certs,
had to be a
yeah.
thing. Like no, it's just hourly thing. Go tell that person what to
But
do.
now
Yeah.
it's more like you
Instagram.
said, it's Instagram.
Yeah.
Who has
Which
the
is
better
fine.
post? Like nobody cares what education you have, how many years you're doing this. They see you pop on their Instagram. Oh, let me try this. And
Yeah, it's great that there's so much access, but then also it's a double-edged sword. Like,
Yeah.
what is the information that you're getting? Is it vetted? Who's it coming from?
Yeah.
Is it qualified?
Everyone's
Is it
an
good
expert.
for you? Because what your diet,
Yeah.
yeah, it's something's different for each person. What's going to be the best thing, and having to navigate and figure that out. Versus somebody like, fuck it, here, just take my money and tell me what to do. They don't. It's crazy.
so, how big is it for now, Zook, the social media side? Like, I love to seeing those posts and stories, like where the water bottle service and stuff. Is there somebody who actually does like the promotion side of Zook, or is it like right now already running himself?
I mean, for the most part, it's still it's kind of been a machine for as long as it has. But there's always you still want to create something new. You want to create a whole new thing because once you've came, yeah, you might get taken care of. Service might be great, but I want to feel new because you're spending your money.
A new
You,
experience.
yeah, you want to feel that. You don't want everything. You want it ever to just be normal or be basic or anything else. It's the worst thing you can ever be today is basic. So
I loved that area you gave us, the table outside. That area was so cool because
I love the
you are
Zoom
not
concept.
inside where everybody is. You're right outside. And it was the coolest area.
I love that pool.
well, knowing the vibe of the squad that was coming, like you guys want to be crammed in the jet, or like, oh, let me give you a little bit of space, a little bit of breathe, and that's one of the things you want to try to
Yeah.
get right whenever you're picking, because sometimes somebody wants to be raged on.
Oh, so
And
hell
then,
no.
then at the other times want to be in the back of the room. I just want to see the thing and be able to
Yeah,
be able to
I'm
touch
that
it.
person. I would just want to see it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in it.
Yeah, and that's whenever you can get all that stuff right, that plays a huge thing into what that experience is going to be.
I remember my brother came visit me a couple of years before, and one time he went without us to the club. Bro, he regretted it. He's like, you need to wait on the line to go to the dance floor, and then if you want a drink, you need to wait to get the drink for how. It's like I literally was waiting. By the time my drink was gone, I was on the dance floor, and then I needed a drink, so I went back to the line to get a drink. I'm like, he's like, this is terrible. I'm like, that's why you need a lounge.
The evolution of the experience. It's always
It's
there's
so
always
bad.
there's always another way to how do we make it better, or how does the next thing, and that's the you have some part of clientele or whatnot. It ages out. Like what's the average? They've been coming to Vegas for however long. Well, now they got married and now they got kids, and it's not doing ratchet shit anymore. So that's what's that ebb and flow of somebody's trajectory of being a customer for however long to what are the life events that are happening, that are celebrating, that they're coming to Vegas to gamble, or they're coming to Vegas for somebody else's party. And so that's a whole nother thing to where as some age out into it, you got what's the next ones that are coming up that are having that new experience. Like, oh shit, it took 10 people that were at the bar, like, yo, you guys, instead of spending that $200 ahead at the bar, you guys want to put your money together and get a spot? And next thing you know, like, oh shit, I can do it
Yeah.
like this. So there's that evolution.
Yeah, it's crazy. My brother was like, "This sucks, man." I'm like, "Yeah, you need to know people in Vegas." It's crazy, but he also learned like that Vegas, like because he was with me, he came first time 10 years before alone, and he's like, with you knowing the city, it's so much different, because I brought him to the club, we were VIP, then to the after hours we were VIP because people know me, and then we went to a mansion party. He's like, this is without you, it's so much different. It's like you said before, you need to know people in Vegas. The more you know, the better.
Yeah, without a doubt. Just being recognizable, just being nice, just being polite, just being whatever,
Yeah.
just simple nod or whatever the thing is. It's like, meatheads at the gym. Trying to get like you, bro. And so, yeah, it's the same thing all over the city. This one just happens to have so much more of it in a condensed place. And out here, there's more running into that you never know versus in other cities. They don't give a fuck. Like the regulars are the regulars, and that's what it is. They don't have to deal with casino whomever or somebody writing on an email or somebody from this business or somebody from this or some type of influence. Some of those other cities are like, fuck you, pay me. Just doesn't matter. Versus here, there's a lot more nuance to everything.
Yeah, we love Vegas, man.
Nah,
So I want to make a few. How you call that in English? My English. Not
Giveaway,
games,
raffle.
Giveaway,
raffle.
raffle.
So we want to make a raffle. Like you want to give some guest list.
Yeah, Fit Club's going to have a guest list for the Argy thing. So we'll say 4 people, 2 guys, 2
You can hop
girls.
with
Can I put your Instagram on it? They can hit you up.
Yeah, you can do it on the Ryan James Chastain, Chastain, all
Yeah, I
one
can
word.
put that
Yeah.
on the. So if you guys want a guest list, write on the comments guest list, and we're gonna choose 4 people.
There you go.
4 people for guest list.
And your tables too. if you
Yeah,
wanna
obviously,
purchase.
table if you're a big
Yeah, I
big
mean,
baller
if
out
you
there, hit
I
up
mean,
Ryan.
we're
Ryan's
gonna
the guy
be
to
there.
know.
Ryan gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. You're
Yeah.
probably gonna work there, but
Nah,
that's fine.
that's okay. That's my way. I get to dip in and dip out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a couple giveaways. This is a nice bag. This is really nice, actually.
Yeah, it is really nice.
From Panda Supplement. We're gonna give the bag away for the best comment. So on YouTube, subscribe the channel, leave a comment. We're gonna search the funniest comment, and the funniest comment gonna get the bag. For these 2, it's a protein. What is this for flavor? Oh, damn.
Graham cracker.
Yeah, it looks bomb.
That's bomb. And this is really strong.
Ugh.
There's like these are really strong. Follow Fit Club Unleashed on Instagram and Panda Supplement. Tag us, and the winner, one of them gonna get the pre-workout, one of them the protein powder.
Pretty good deal.
Pretty good deal, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get someone to get that graham cracker one.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm
go
gonna look.
comment, bro.
I'm gonna look
Yeah,
for
I'm gonna
recipes
go
on
comment.
that.
He's
one.
gonna go comment.
I'm gonna go comment.
Go comment. Maybe you get it.
Yeah, that bag's sick too.
Thank you for taking time, Ryan.
No.
We're gonna have you definitely a few more times here with other guests together. You are an interesting person. It's fun to have you.
We have to document us going to Argy.
Oh,
on
yeah.
Fit Club.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole thing. That's a
we
whole
should
thing.
we should set up like a pre-game podcast. Like
Yeah,
a-
that's a whole. It starts here, and
starts
that
here, yeah.
weekend finishes here because that's EDC weekend.
Yeah, we
we
should.
should do something.
I'm
fun.
down.
That's a whole. That's a whole journey that weekend.
Yeah,
We
let's
should
do
do an
something.
EDC podcast and then go to Argy and then film it.
Yeah, like that's a whole. it's
Can
a
we set
whole
up
thing.
cameras in the club? Probably not. Right?
I mean, your phone works. I can't
Yeah, phone.
say. I can't. Who am I
Phone
to
with
say?
microphones.
I don't know anything about that. That sounds like a guest did their own thing. I don't know anything about
Yeah,
that.
I'm excited. Yeah, thank you for you, man.
Yeah,
People
brother.
love you on the podcast. Really good feedback. You are always welcome.
Appreciate
Be
it,
my
bro.
co-host. Thank you, guys. Don't forget, subscribe the channel. Otherwise, you're not getting any nudes from Ryan.
No more.
I have 2 Ryans here. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
right.
meant
Either
this
of
one.
us.
This Ryan.
That's long.
See you guys next time.